Hi, guys. How are you all this afternoon? If you did not join us this morning on Brothers Facebook Live, go back and watch that to learn how to put together what we're going to do this afternoon. I figured it was great to actually just kind of combine two items today. It was a twofer, one project, two lives. So as you join, tell us your name, tell us where you're from. You never know, your neighbor might be stitching right next to you, as Angela always says. So hi, Sylvia. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you all here today. Hope things are going well in your world. Hi, Margaret. How are the turkeys? Hi, Miss Priscilla. How are you doing today? Hi, Gail. Good to see you here. Hi, Dory, my friend Miss Dory from Florida. And Chris, and then we have Lori Wallace, and we have Terry Brown from snowy Michigan. It's snowing there. I'm so glad I'm not in Michigan anymore. I don't think I can handle that. Hi, Robin. Good to see you here from Southern California. And Miss Doris. And then we have Karen here as well, and Lisa here from New York. New York. Not New York City, though. Hi, Tana. Good to see you. And good to see you, Linda. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Hi, Faye. How are you today? Hi, Sharon from Central Florida. What part of Central Florida would that be? Oh, you've got 2 inches of snow predicted tomorrow. We're supposed to get down to 36 tonight, and I'm thinking, it's almost May. You're saying 36 degrees? That's crazy. Oh, well, you never can tell. Don't like the weather, wait till tomorrow and it'll change, right? It's a beautiful 70-degree day out here, though, today. So I can't complain today. There was not a cloud in the sky when I went and walked Princess this morning. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Kimberly, what part of Wisconsin are you from? My husband is from his family says they're from Wisconsin. He's actually a military brat, so he's from all over the world. But they landed in Wisconsin in a little bitty town called Sparta. Blink and you'll miss it. Although it is the bicycle capital of the U.S. Just so we're clear on that. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you out here. So glad you guys could join me this afternoon, Lois. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the project this morning. You got to catch the replay. Now you get to get the scoop on how to do the rest of it, right? Do I ever get a day off? Well, the last few weeks have been very busy, is all I will say. It has been a busy couple of weeks, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. So far, no, I haven't had a day off since last weekend. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So it's been pretty much going nonstop. We just try to get things done in the middle of it. So good to see you guys here today. So I'm glad that you all could join me today. If you did not see this morning's, I gave them a way to create a template so that they could actually put together lines of text on a shirt that has different colors of HTV. Not that hard if you're doing the same color because it's all one thing, but I didn't want to waste my HTV colors. And this whole thing came about, I'm trying to grab the other shirt that fell on the floor, because my husband is a big pickleball player. And he wanted to have a pickleball shirt. He had me buy some SVG files, and so I brought those SVG files in, and I looked at it, and I said, well, good Lord, you've got all kinds of colors there. I don't want to mark all over a shirt to make that together. So I figured out a way. It was my aha moment. We all have one of those aha moments. I really have never doing sayings across a shirt has never been one of those things that I've done. So I was like, okay, so how am I going to do that? I could draw lines. So Shirley, you love pickleball. Okay, I'll tell my husband he's got some pickleball fans around here. He started playing that when we lived in Jackson. So he's been playing that for quite a few years. He thoroughly enjoys it. That's his weekend. I don't have to see him all weekend long. He goes out and plays from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They have a whole group around here that plays, and they're so they're trying to get some fundraising for lights for the pickleball courts. So that's one of those things so shirts and towels were one of those things that he was wanting to do. So I bought the SVG files for that, and then he's like, well, can you make me a shirt? And I'm going, well, I'm not a screen printer, but I can do something. So this is how this idea came about, is because how was I going to put this on here without drawing lines and measuring and making sure everything's right? So if you go back and watch the replay this morning, you'll see that I created a template by drawing with my ScanNCut onto rhinestone template transfer sheets. So it's a heat transfer product, so it's heat resistant. No, you cannot use adhesive transfer tape that you would use for vinyl adhesive vinyl. So you do have to use the heat resistant product, and you can buy the template transfer sheets, by the rhinestone transfer sheets by themselves. So it's great. Yeah, it is like tennis with a ping pong battle and a wiffle ball. I have watched them play. I get the thing, and you have to stay. There's a little kitchen line, and you want to stay out of the kitchen. But go watch a video on pickleball, and it's tennis for old people. Because you don't have to run around quite as much to go get it. And we are in that age bracket now. He's like, one of the things that I bought was, I have a retirement plan. I plan to play pickleball. So that, we're sitting here thinking about what are we going to do in retirement. And I'm like, you're going to drive me nuts is what we're going to do in retirement. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun unless you go play pickleball all day. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into sharing my screen, and we'll talk about, I will have to tell my husband that there are a lot of you out there that have people who love to play pickleball as well. So Rochelle, your husband loves it as well. He is a sports guy. He used to play racquetball. He doesn't look like that much of an athlete, but he does love to play racquetball and pickleball, and he's too old for racquetball anymore because he threw his shoulder out. You do have to you got to take care of your body in your old age. So that's one of those things. All right. You'll have a hot dog with the pickleball. Oh, your sister's an ambassador for pickleball in Richmond, Virginia. That's cool, Beverly. So, Tana, you're playing, but your husband won't play yet. He and I need to get together, and you and my husband can go play. All right, guys. So what I did was I started with text, okay? I went and grabbed we're in Canvas Workspace. We clicked on the text tool, and I'm clicking on the design page on the white space in the mat, and I put on my cap locks key, and I typed in sewing, and then left clicked and set it. All right, because I knew that sewing was my premise on this one, and I went and played and looked at the text options, and I actually did choose Antique Oakland and just kind of made it bigger. You can make it as big as you want. Okay. And then I came in and put my next line of text. That was is. And this time I picked a different font. So I came in here. Let's see, what did I pick? That would be nice if I could remember, wouldn't it? But I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. So we'll just kind of look down through here and see what I've got. Now, I know it wasn't Caviar Dreams. Somebody else must have. Oh, yeah, I was helping somebody the other day, and they wanted Caviar Dreams, so I had to download that one. What one did I use? Of course, it didn't hold on to it. Nope. That was one I thought about. And I should have thought about which one I used before I got on here today. But, it's kind of one of those things. Oh, let's see here. Let's play with a couple of them. That one's not bad, but it's still not the one I used. Usually it holds on to my thing, but it did not this time. Okay, guys, we're just going to pick one and go for it. I just haven't decided which one I like. I want something kind of funky, but not too funky. So let's see here. See what that one looks like. Oh, that's interesting. So that would work. We'll come back and play with that in a minute. And then I did my therapy down at the bottom, and I used the same one that I used for the other one for my therapy. I want cap locks. So I know that one will have held on. It should be right here at the top here. Antique Oakland. Now with this one, I wanted my letters placed closer together, and I did the same thing with my sewing, and I'll show you that in just a second. So this is your character spacing, or kerning as we call it in PE Design. And I wanted this one spaced closer together as well because it looked kind of weird if it wasn't. But just my opinion on it. Of course, my opinion's neither here nor there. It's whatever you like. So I wanted to make my text funky. All right. How do I get to be able to manipulate my text like I would in PE Design or BES4 to where I can rotate my letters and play with it? Well, there's a little trick over here. On your edit menu, you can come and press this divide button. The divide will divide those letters up into individual letters that you can then rotate and manipulate and play with them and make them the way you want them. So I think I played with my therapy, and I had the E overlapping a little bit there. I think I rotated my R and maybe moved it down a little bit. Moved my A over, rotated my P a little bit. No, I don't like that, so let's rotate it the other way. Take it down, and then rotate this one a little bit. To where I have connected items, but they're not totally connected, right? And if you want, you could move the my closer to the therapy. So I'm selected both of those by drawing around them, and you can manipulate those. But I don't want them separate. So I want them, if I cut them like they are, you'll notice that I would have overlapping elements, and that's not what I want. So once you select all of the letters, you can touch the weld button, and it welds those together. So now I've got my therapy ready to go, right? Oops. I want to keep that in a straight line, so I'm going to grab that whole thing, and I'm going to give it a color so I know what I want to cut it as. And I put green on that one. And now let's group it together. So there we go. I then went into my shapes menu, and I have the stamp kit. And there's some stamps in here that I absolutely love, but I will tell you, I use this sewing machine that's in this stamp kit a ton. And I brought my little sewing machine in here, moved it over into place, and played with it. So I still am not crazy about that is. Let's see if we can't find something that we like, if y'all don't mind me playing here for a few minutes. Not Belgium. I like that one. So keep that one in mind. That's what I used. Florida. Maybe I'm dreaming of going back to Florida. So these two elements right here, I want aligned with each other. So I can either make this one bigger or that one smaller. I think I want to make that one a little bit bigger. Let's go to the edit menu and let's align them to the middle so that they're aligned together. And that's pretty good. So I have this set is blue. I'm going to come in here and paint it. And does that matter one whit? No. It just gives me an idea as to what color I want, a vinyl that I want to go find for that. I'm going to put that closer together. So I changed my character spacing, and I had that orange, I believe. And then I made this a little taller and a little wider. So, and I made that color pink. So now I've got all my elements, and I thought that was blue, but it's purple, but that's okay. Purple would have worked too, right? I'm going to grab those back together and center them and group them for right now. So I've got this element, and this. First thing I'm going to do is grab them all, come down here to my distribute spacing, and I want those distributed about 1/4 inch apart. So that gives me even line spacing, right? And then I want them centered. Now I did add one other element to this. Hold on a second and let me see where it is. So I'm not going to totally center it yet. I added a needle and thread. Okay. So where did I get my needle and thread? Well, that's where your drawing tools come in. So I'm going to come grab my drawing tool and basically click to make myself a needle. If you click and drag, it makes a curve. If you click straight, it's just a straight little guy. Let's zoom in on him and see if we can't refine him just a hair. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because that looks like a real squatty little needle right now. And I'm going to tap it twice. These little handles here, the little blue guys, let you adjust that angle to where you don't have to draw perfect. Life is all about editing. So those little handles, or as I like to call them, wings, allow you to adjust your curve. So let's see if my needle is proportional to the rest of my design right now. It's a little fat. That is one big honking needle right now. So let's make it a little skinnier. And I'm going to zoom in on it again so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see here. Double tap. I forgot what program I was using here. So we want to grab this little guy right here and move him in. Same thing for this one. Same thing for this one. Now I'm looking more like a needle. Y'all happy with that? I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to go back to my shapes tools, and I need a hole for the needle eye. So let's drag us over a big old honking oval here. And for those of you that aren't Southern, honking is big. I'm going to swoosh it in, make it smaller, rotate it, and put it into the needle so that I have the eye of the needle. That look all right to you guys? Let's double tap. I'm still a little bit of a chunky needle, so let's grab that whole thing and make it a little bit smaller. There we go. I'm happy with that. All right, so I'm going to come back in, or a carrot. I'm going to come back in and answer some questions. Okay. Okay, Jan. No, you cannot say go Gators to a Tennessee Volunteer. That is like drawing the red flag. That is not nice. The stamping kit is a kit that you can purchase to cut out stamps for scrapbooking. But and it comes with the material and the blocks for you to use. It does not come with any inks, but it does come as a kit. So you kind of have to play around to find what inks work for you, but it allows you to cut out stamps and use them for card making. But I use the designs that come in it more than I stamp, I will have to say. Getting honking and hunkering down and honking big, right? All right, so let's see here. I don't see any other questions. So we're pretty good. All right, we'll go back over to our software. Let me find my little button there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to group this for right now. Actually, I guess I already have. And we'll take this and move. No, I did not. Undo. I love undo. We're going to right mouse click and group that. So now our needle is together. Somehow I got a big oval up at the top. I must have clicked twice. We're going to get rid of that oval. Let's move our sewing machine out of the way and let's move our needle over to the right. And if you needed a shape of an oval, I'm sure there's plenty of them out there on the internet that you can find that you could auto trace here. I just decided to, yeah, I'll show you the stamps designs in just a minute, Tana. I just decided to draw my own. It made it easier. You can kind of eyeball what you're doing. And if you really want to make sure that it's kind of long and skinny, you could pull it that way and putz with it. But I'm actually pretty happy with the way that one was. All right, so my next part was to make a piece of thread. And I saw some really good suggestions today. Some people said, well, after you did the whole heat transfer, instead of cutting the thin adhesive vinyl, you could stitch yourself some thread by hand, or you could actually embroider the thread string by hand. You certainly could. What I did was I came and I grabbed my drawing tool, and once again, I just kind of made a curved shape. And I'll refine this in a minute. This is just my basic, let's get started. When you're done, double tap. So now let's go here and make this S look like something else. So I'm going to double tap it to get my wings, and let's manipulate it to where we like it. I am never the perfect drawer, but I have a master in my editing tools here. I think I want to get rid of that one. So I'm going to minus that one edit point out, move this down, and that should give me kind of what I want. So if I did this like this, it would just cut a single line, right? I could put that up there and let it draw my line with a fabric pen. That was another suggestion. Yes, I certainly could have done that, but I did something different. So in my edit menu, which is the 4 squares up here with the arrow, I touched offset, and I took that offset down as far as it would go. I had it delete the original line so that the original line would not be in my way, and then I clicked OK. So now I have my thread, and if you want to manipulate it and make it smaller, you can make it thinner, you can do that. I'm going to turn off the controller points so we don't have to deal with those. You could highlight and pull them together. Hide control points. And just move them down to make them skinnier or thicker. I'm actually fine with the way it was, but I just wanted to show you how you can manipulate it. I am going to take this, though, and make it into a point. So I'm going to delete these with a minus point. Let's delete these because I wanted it to come to a point. I did say stitch by hand, Karen, but you could do it with your sewing machine if you would like to. Let's minus those out on this other end as well. So we have more of a point down here. Move our little edit points. The reason I hid the control points is so I didn't have to figure out what was what. Since I really didn't want to adjust the shape that much, just the ends. And there are a lot of control points there, right? All right, so I'm moving my thread back down, my needle back down here to my thread. And I'm going to pull my thread to where it looks like it's going into my needle. We may need to make our thread a little smaller. There we go. So here's your next trick. We're going to, first of all, we're going to grab this one, which is since we've grouped it, it is one item, and we are going to subtract the hole out of the center. So if I ungroup now, you'll notice there is no ungroup because that center hole has been subtracted out of there. So now we're only messing with one item. All right, so now I want to divide so that I can get rid of the overlap. All right. So let's come and grab all of this. Actually, we can just do remove overlap, I believe. No, it is divide first. So I divided so that it would take out those extra parts, right? But there is one trick to that. So this one can obviously be removed because it was in the center. Let's delete it. But I need to go into my layers menu. So if you notice, there's the top part of my needle. Here's the bottom part. Those two I want to group together. Okay. Now, this is the first part of my thread. This is the bottom part of my thread. I want to group those together. What is that? That is an item that we don't need. So let's grab that and press delete. Actually, we do need that. I lied to you there. So we need to take this one up to where that other needle is. Now we have these 3 needle parts. And what we want to do with those 3 needle parts is we want to weld those guys back together so they are one unit. Now, if I move that away, that is all one needle. I need that to be separate. I'm going to grab these 2 parts right here and weld those back together. So now you have your needle and your thread and your cutout where it should go. Have I lost you yet? So I'm going to grab everything. Actually, I'm going to, did I group these 2 together? No, I did not. So I'm going to grab that whole thing and I'm going to group it together. That is going to be blue. This is going to be silver. Move your needle up, move your thread up, and you're ready to go. Okay? So I lost you there. Do I need to go back and do my needle and thread? Yeah, the needle and thread part's a little bit tricky because of the removing the overlaps. So I can come back and do that. So I want you to see why I did it so you understand what happened. I'm going back to where I've got thread and a needle. That's actually as far as I can go back. So I got back to where I divided things, okay? And if I pull that part of my needle away, you'll notice that the other half of it stayed there. And that's not what I want. The only thing I know I want to get rid of is that thread that's going through the center of the eye. So I'm going to go back to my layers menu and let's identify what we've got. If we come, that's the bottom of the needle. That's the top of the needle. That's a piece of thread. That's what we need to have be a needle. So these 3 parts are my needle. I'm going to color those in for you so you can see that. All right, that makes sense. Those 3 parts would comprise of my needle. All right, let me come back into my layers menu and put my 3 colored items back together. So those 3, if I grab all 3 pieces of those in the layers menu and I weld them back together, that is now one shape. Okay. So what's left? These threads, right? Let's color those in, but they're broken apart since I divided, and I had to divide in order to get them out of the needle. So we want to weld those 2 pieces back together so it's one single piece of thread with the break. So let's change this one to blue as well. Now we're ready, and we can grab all that and group it back together so it doesn't fall apart. Did that help? So now you've got your needle. Yes, you do weed that tiny spot in the needle. It actually is not that tiny when it's done, but it is kind of small. You plop it back in there, and then I'm going to grab these and move them up. And if you want to get fussy with it, you can come zoom in and make sure you're in the right spot. But really, this is more for you just visually, because that thread you're going to place after everything else has been heat set. Okay, so let's group those two together for right now. And then let's group it with, actually, I'm happy with where that is. Y'all happy with that? Okay. So now we're ready to send these parts to our scan and cut machine. I would make sure that you save this. So we're going to save this as sewing. Actually, I'm going to make a folder for it on my hard drive that says sewing, if I can remember to take off cap locks. Let me go find my data drive. There we go. Save. Oh, I forgot to make my folder, but that's okay. So it's on my hard drive. It's called sewing, and that's my first part. Now we're ready to mess with this. In order to send it to your scan and cut, you need to send it by colors. So we're going back into our layering menu, and I'm going to hide everything besides my sewing. So this is my first word. All right. Let's go to our edit menu. Let's select our sewing, and then let's touch weeding box. You don't want to weed line. I'm not going to weed between grouped items in case there was more space than 0.12. So we're just going to take that check mark, put it on there, click OK. But what did I forget to do, boys and girls? We need to undo because I got ahead of myself. Let's go back and bring everything back up. We're cutting heat transfer vinyl. If I'm cutting adhesive vinyl, the way it is fine. We're cutting heat transfer vinyl, so we need to flip it. Don't make the mistake that I did. You need to flip it. Then go back and hide the items that you don't want to cut. So I'm going to go back and hide the ones that I just unhid. Now we'll go in and we'll add our weeding box. There you go. So we're going to choose File, Export Transfer FCM. It's telling you that anything that's hidden is not going to be sent. Click OK and tell it where you want it to go. For ease, I went in and I touched Export FCM file and I sent them all to a USB drive. So if you choose Export FCM, you choose where you want to export it to. If you choose transfer via the internet, it's going to transfer it one piece at a time, and you would cut it one piece at a time. So it all depends on what you would do. Okay. So I'm going to undo my weeding box. I'm going to undo the hiding. Come back over here to my layers menu, and actually I could redo my hiding and then hide my pink. So once again, go back into your edit menu, click on the item that you want to add the weeding box to, put your weeding box on, no weeding between grouped. There you go. Transfer that. Once again, it's telling you anything that's hidden is not going to be done. So I'm not going to hit that transfer every time. I think you all get it, but I do want to show you if your items are grouped, you do want to ungroup them if they're going to be separate colors. Otherwise, you're going to get a huge weeding box. So go ahead and ungroup before you do the weeding box. So come in, hide anything that you're not planning on sending. And then do your weeding box for that particular item. All right. Now, after everybody's been sent, all of your items are sent, go ahead and show everything back on. Grab everything and group it together. okay, and unmirror it, because this is the key to this whole process. You're going to grab your line drawing tool. You're going to click, hold the shift key down on your keyboard so it'll keep it as a straight line. Double click at the end, and now you have a line going down through it. Select it all. Align center. So that's going to give you your center marking so that you can line it up with the center of your shirt. And you're going to turn, everything's still selected. We're going to go into our properties and we are going to turn off the fill properties. So you make it transparent. Click OK. So everything is now transparent. You want to change it from cut to draw. And you will use a permanent marker to draw it. So let me come back over here, guys. So then you'll take your your rhinestone template transfer sheets, load it into your scan and cut, use your universal pen holder, and you'll draw the design that we just turned into a drawing. And if you go back and watch this morning's, you'll see how I actually put everything together. Super simple, makes it way easier, and you can save it and use it again and again and again. So if you're not wanting to make just one shirt, you can save it and use it again and again and again. Okay. Any questions? So where do you get the stamping kit? Well, you can check with your local dealer. If it's not there, you can look online. There are various sources online that you may be able to find it. If you can't find it, contact me and I'll see if I can connect you to somebody that has it. All right, let's see here. Yes, Lois, you can, when they were actually touching, okay? So the pieces were touching. That's why I left that one little space in there on that needle so that it would actually touch. I left one gap, but that one part of the needle that the thread had taken away, I left it in there so that I can make it one whole unit again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot there. So let me see. What else do we have? The decorative stitches on the embroidery side of the luminaire are, hold on a second. Y'all are going to see me in my shorts. That ain't right. Category 5. Okay, category 5 is where the decorative stitches are on your luminaire. Okay, so stamp kit. Somebody asked what ones are in the stamping kit. So here's my stamping kit under my shapes. These are the stamps that you get in the stamping kit. The flip-flops are fun to turn into appliques. You've got some sayings in there. There's some cute stuff in there. The tie makes a really cute applique as well. So you like my needle there. Y'all just play with that. I guess what I could, oops, sorry. You can't see what I'm doing. That would help. All right, so here are the items, thanks, that are in the stamping kit. So you go into your shapes menu, the one that looks like a stamp. Scroll down through there and you'll see what you've got. So the tie makes a really cute applique. The flip-flops make a cute applique. The lips, the mustache, those are all some fun things that you can play with. But they are fun to just do stuff with. Okay, what's on my shirt? My shirt has, let's see here. My shirt has HTV. It's a holographic HTV. Let's see. I don't really want to go up bright in the camera, but it says create. So it's faux rhinestones. It's a class I taught. I used created a pair of scissors and the word create and used the rhinestone kit to turn it into a rhinestone designs, but instead of cutting out rhinestone template material and transferring rhinestones on it, I used holographic vinyl, which it was a rainbow holographic vinyl to do that. There are, yes, you could. I mean, you certainly could. You can make your own stamps just because they just give you stamps. So you can play and have a blast. Okay, guys, let's see here. All rhinestone transfer paper, the clear stuff, yes, you should be, because it's used for heat. Rhinestones have an adhesive on the back of them, and it's a heat process. You have to use heat to get them to transfer because the glue has to melt. So yes, the rhinestone transfer paper should be able to be used. Okay. Yes, you certainly could do it with heat transfer foil. There's no reason that you couldn't. Designs, not necessarily. It depends, Tana, on how you created the shape, what kind of a shape it is. But I mean, if you exported an FCM file, then you should be able to create a stamp out of it. A heart's a heart's a heart. But you really, let's say you wanted a heart and you didn't want the fill, the middle of the heart, you would need to create 2 hearts and, hold on. I've lost you. I realize I lost you at hello on that one. So if I were wanting to make a stamp of my own that was a heart and that I would just want kind of the outline of the heart, I would come in here to my heart, my shapes menu, grab the heart. I would select it and go create offset line. You can either go inward or outward. I would probably go outward. And let's see if we like that. It's too far. Let's go 5. Okay, I'm happy with that. Click OK. Fill that one. So turn on the fill stitch for it for right now. This is just a process that we want to be able to grab. We're going to change the order of sewing. I don't know if I have to do that, but it'll make my life simpler. I'm going to grab them all on the Home tab. Modify overlap, set whole sewing, and then turn off your fill and turn off your outline, I would say. Let's see. Let's go to our Scan and Cut tab, Export, FCM, and we would want all the way to 0, and we don't want just outermost edge. So this would give us both the outside and inside. I'm going to save it as a Scan and Cut FCM file. Let me put it on my data drive down here. Heart. So now, if I go back over to Canvas Workspace, you don't have to go to Canvas Workspace. You can go directly to your Scan and Cut with that. Let's say we go to Import from my computer. There's my heart. Oops, undo. I would want to group those, except for I didn't hit group, so let's undo that again. Let's go into our layers menu. This may make my life easier. So here, right mouse click group. Now I can move it. So that right there would work as a stamp. Sharon, I don't have a model number for my heat press. It is a Hotronix. I bought it from Mid-South Crafting. They're a great supplier of lots of stuff. They're actually a sewing machine dealership as well. So they are my local dealer, and they sell Hotronix as well as others. I like that one because it has 2 timers on it. A tack down timer and a regular timer, and you can set those to whatever you want them to be, and it pops it up. I have melted many a thing, not trying to keep up with the time on my watch. So that I really do like that one. Okay. Have I done a video on splitting letters to put words in between them on P Design 11? No, I don't think I have. I may have last year, but I can certainly do that next week. You've given me a topic to talk about next week. That'll be a neat way to do it. No, my tray does not pull out. And I don't know what the number of my Hottronics is, but if you tell Matt or Stephanie that it's the same, call Mid-South Sewing, it's the same one that Cindy has, they'll know exactly what I have. Okay? Because they take care of me. I started with a small press, and I mean, we all have to start somewhere. You don't have to go for all the bells and whistles the first time. But mine was a swing out, and I burnt my hand more time than I can tell you. So I chose not to go that route anymore. Can the new P Design update? I have not actually looked and saw exactly what they did. They enhanced some features, is my understanding. So let's see here. They must have found some, my guess is they found some little quirks and they went through and fixed them. But I can tell you what is different from PE Design 10 versus 11. Is that what you're wanting to know? Update or upgrade? Update is free. Upgrades cost you green. G for green. Let me know, Pauline, if you're wanting to know what's the difference between 10 and 11, or if you're wanting to know what came. They just released an update this past week. Update. If you'll let me look at that a little bit more. My understanding is that there may have been some little buggy boos that they fixed. So let's see here. Let's go to the help menu. Usually it tells us what they've done recently. Let's go. We'll go to Brother and we'll see what they've done. Let's go support.brother.com. Hold on. Hold on, and I'll share my screen and we'll see what they did. Nancy, the layers menu is part of the entire program. It is not an update. It is on the desktop version, not on the web version. So let's go to downloads here on support and let's see what's new. It'll tell me right here. I'll just agree and we'll go see what it is. All right, so merge overlapping shapes has been added to the arrange copy menu. So what does that mean for you? If I grab a shape, I actually thought it was already there. And we go arrange copy. Do you see this little button right here, merge overlapping shapes? So if you come in, let's say you do circle copy. And I need to go by number here so I can get more overlapping. There we go. When I click, arrange copy, merge overlap. I actually needed to leave that in there to begin with, but we do need a fill stitch. So let me undo this. Otherwise, it has nothing to merge. So let's go back home, arrange copy, circle copy tool. I'm going to go with 7. Let's go with more. There we go. And I forgot to hit that little button again, didn't I? Arrange copy. Oh, I didn't. I did it. I did it right. All right, so let's see here. Let's left mouse click, and you'll notice how it merged those overlapping shapes to make them one option, one item, which is kind of cool if you think about it. So basically, if I didn't do that, you saw it the first time. Let's take that off. It's a two-step process if you want to merge them. So what did I have, like 12 of them? So currently they're not merged. If you want to merge them, you would have to then go to modify overlap, merge. So since that new button has been added, they automatically merge. Okay, let's go back and see what else there was. So they just made some enhancements. They made enhancements on importing SVG files. They enhanced the wireless link function. Evidently, there must have been there must have been a bug or something with when somebody imported a design from from Design Center into Layout and Editing. They improved they basically, if it says improved functionality, they found a bug and they needed to fix it. Okay, so those are enhanced features to fix things. All right, the Brother's really good about responding to things. If they find a bug with something, if somebody reports it and they can replicate it, then they are very responsive to the customers in trying to fix things. So and that's why updates are free, because they are usually fixing something, not giving a complete new feature. They're just enhancing what they've already done, or fixing a little bug that they found. But they really are good about telling us what's going. All right, I don't want to update anymore. So let's see here. Do I have a video showing how to take an SVG apart by layers? It would be the same way that I just did that FCM file. So the layers menu on the desktop version of Canvas Workspace allows you to hide the different parts that you don't want to send, or you can basically pick the parts just like I did. I do have a Teflon pressing sheet. There you can use what is it called? Parchment paper. So you could use parchment paper if you don't want to use a Teflon pressing sheet. I have two different ones, one for the bottom and one for the top. I switch them out. So if I need to clean one up, I can clean one up. But yes, they're Teflon pressing sheets, or non-stick. I guess I should say non-stick pressing sheets. Updates are not automatic. It will you will get a notice when there's one out there. When you open your software, there's a new version available if you have that option checked. So let me show you where that option is. If you go up to your help menu and you do check for updates, this button right here, if you have that on, when you're connected to the internet, if there's a new update available, when you open your software, it'll say there's a new update available. Would you like to download it? If you've taken that check mark off, you will not be notified of it. So you need to keep that in mind and keep that one on, so that you know that when there's a new version available for you to be able to update. Okay, guys, we do have to do a drawing today, don't we? So hold on. Hold on, I got to find that. My brain was not there, but I do have that somewhere. And I will open that up and do my drawing for the person who wins the private lesson. I just have to find it, though. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Name, there it is. So I had to grab all the names to make sure I had everybody's name in there, and we will nab them all. And I'll do a drawing here. My nose is itching. Who's talking about me? Where's my random draw? There we go. Wrong one. There it is. Nope. Dead air. I hate it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I've got those copied. There we go. Let's see here. Let me pick. All right, so, oh, wow. I am not going to be able to pronounce this name because I am not good with that. Hold on just a second. I can tell you it's Annette, but Annette Simpliski. Please don't hate me if I said your name wrong. You are the winner of the free private lesson on the software program of your choice. That's Brother. It does have to be a Brother one, okay? So Marcia, you had to comment on last week's video and the week before video. So that was the last 2 weeks I said I would draw. That was for reaching my goal of 2,000 Facebook 2,000 Facebook likes. I have more followers than that, but that was likes. That was my goal for my year, and we made it just over that year. So it means I'm going to get money. Oh boy. So Annette, if you contact me either by private message or via email, we can schedule a time to do your private lesson. So congratulations. Hopefully it's something you want to do. So, all right, guys. That is what I have for you this week. As always, in between, if there's something that you would like covered, please let me know if there's questions that you have. I saw one here earlier that I said I could do that next week. What was? Oh, the splitting letters. So I need to write myself a note to do one on splitting letters next week. Okay. If there is nothing else, I think I'm going to say goodbye for the day. So if y'all have questions about what we did today, let me know. You can always share this video on your own page so that you don't lose it if there's something you want to watch from either this morning's or today's, but it always lives on my page, so you're there. Okay, all you have to do is go back and view it again. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks, Shirlene. That's so sweet. I enjoy doing this. So we sit there and say, y'all do laugh at. I mean, Karen laughs at me massively for, everybody asks, what's happening today? What's happening today? I know when I wake up usually on Tuesday mornings or maybe Tuesday at noon what we're going to do today. So if you have questions, that's really a good way to get it. I probably ought to put winner. Let's see here. Let me edit that banner. It's not letting me. There we go. Edit. Winner. All right. There we go. Let's save that so that she knows she's a winner. So let me know if there's things that you want to learn about. So you need a pickleball theme. Okay. That's pretty specific. I can send you to a site that has lots of designs and they're pretty inexpensive. I think I bought like 12 of them for $5.99. So, all right, guys, y'all have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. I may have to change next week's time because I have meetings. So next Tuesday may be, before I hang up here, next Tuesday may be early or later. Hold on. I got to see what time my meetings are. Yeah, I will have to go. Next Tuesday, I don't know if that's going to happen. Just simply because I have 2 different sessions. If I go, it will be on the spur of the moment, and it would be around probably lunchtime because I don't have a true schedule for my meetings next week. I have meetings all week long next week. So I think we're probably going to end up skipping a week, but I will announce once I find out what everything's happening to let you know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. Okay. All right. You guys have a great rest of the week, as I said earlier, and I will see you next week. Or I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully next week. Won't swear to that though. Bye.